Good morning, members of the board, members of staff, teachers, parents, guardians, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. Well, here we are. Who thought this day would come? It feels like somehow it has taken both an incredibly long time and no time at all to get here. On one hand, grade 9 feels like day before yesterday. Us as tiny, naive. Now, I know we said we'd never talk about the dark days, but let's admit it, we wore blue shirts once. East was so big, so daunting, new and completely uncharted, and yet I feel like I've never been anywhere but East. How could I have been? This is home. And what a home it has been. What a 4/3/2 years we've had. I know we're tired. IB has been one long, never-ending non-line. And like the non-line, at the end, there has been joy and food. But there have been more 3 a.m.s than I care to admit. Sorry, Mom, I didn't really sleep at 12. The IB was relentless. There were days, sometimes weeks, when we were exhausted as a grade. I looked at us and it felt like every single person just wanted to curl up into a ball and fall asleep right where they were standing. And so of course we're tired. Of course we'll remember the tough times. They're captured like screenshots in our collective memories. But when I look back, none of that is what sticks. Instead, I see brilliant flashes of an auditorium at its feet. 300 dancers taking a bow that made us realize all at once that what we have here is so incredibly special. I hear flashes of sports halls chanting, thumping of feet, let's go Dragons, let's go. Of loud libraries, laughing classrooms. I see sleepy freeze, busy GC meetings, relaxed lunches. I remember panicky math corridors before tests, knowing that you would be okay only because nobody would be okay. I remember music performances in assemblies. I remember the collective endeavor to wake up outside mentor group. But most importantly, I see a plaza at night, and I hear a resounding chorus of 2015. It would be simplistic to say that this high school experience has just been smooth and just been wonderful for years and for everyone. But at no point should we forget that what we had here gave us the space to be and do wonders. East has allowed us to be ourselves on grand stages. We've accomplished wonders academically. We've given 4,000 words of our blood, sweat, and tears. Today we write better than we ever imagined we could. We could solve problems we never thought we could. We've overcome and made our own subjects that at once seemed that they could never be tamed. For some of us, it was HL Maths. Speaking of which, is it too late to change subjects? Who do I need to talk to? And on a personal note, the people in this room have had and been the most incredible support systems we could have asked for. Sometimes as a collective grade, and sometimes within smaller parts of the whole. We've shared with one another, called for one another, and grown together. And the results of this are nowhere more apparent in the plays we've put up, the games we've won, the GCs we've built from ground up. I suppose one of the many testaments then to the wonders we've achieved here is Project Week. I still don't know who it was at Dover who thought it would be a bright idea to let the same kids who can't remember their candidate numbers out on Southeast Asia on their own, but they did it, and come through we did. We cared for one another, we acted almost like adults, and we showed that we could be part of a larger world as a whole. And so on that note, as a grade, there are many things we need to say to many people. Firstly, our teachers. Thank you. You have imbued in us your care, passion, consideration, and horrible, horrible sense of humor. We love you all very much. You are our mentors, friends, and supreme overlords. You've pushed us further than we ever thought we could go, and we're here now, better people because of you. To the non-teaching staff, We can't begin to thank you enough for all you do. You have been our friends and a support system so thorough. We have learned from you every day. You have built this school and kept it running. Everything it is because of your unfaltering effort. To the grades following us, especially the 11s. Now, of all the advice I've ever heard from graduating classes, none of it has ever honestly stuck with me, except for this one thing. If you think we've been a good class, learn from us. If you think we haven't, learn from us. Thank you for being incredibly wonderful to work with and have around. We know we leave East in good, capable hands. And so the most important thank you is, of course, to the parents and guardians here tonight. Today morning. Who knows? I've been struggling to figure out how best to thank the people who have, for our whole lives, put us first. Nothing feels enough, and anything would be reductive. And so I suppose the best we can do is to make the most of the opportunities they have provided for us. Use what we've been so lucky from them to get from them, and to remember them as we do great things. And lastly, this thank you section would not, of course, be complete without a shout out to Kurt Hahn. It's a pretty great movement he has going here. And so it's strange to think that 12 years of schooling have built up to this exact moment. This is what we've been training for in a sense, and it doesn't feel real. No more training do we require. Already we know that which we need, only one thing remains. Darth Vader, wait, no, sorry, wrong speech. That was Yoda, never mind. I've never known anything but school. I can't comprehend the possibilities of life without one. And on that note, I hear the future is upon us, this whole real-world business beckons. We have a lot to consider. I hope we always stand up for the things we believe in, that we keep laughing, turning all the offices in our lives into homoerotic nightclubs. That we remember to keep Arnie in our hearts and never take ourselves too seriously. I hope we always fight for ourselves and for others. There's so much to fight for, so much that needs fighting for. We're part of something larger than ourselves here at UWC, and exactly what that is for each of us to figure out individually. But I really do believe and know that graduating from here, we have the opportunity, yes, but also the responsibility to speak up. There's so much to do. Income inequality, gender discrimination, the discrimination of race and sexuality, and impending climate change crisis. And into this world is where we step. We have to challenge archaic ideas, move people, and shape our surroundings for the better. At East, we've been lucky enough to learn what it means to be part of a truly, truly collective community, where we don't try to dismiss our differences and pass off as the same, where we recognize them, where we celebrate them. We've come together regardless of our differences, be they of race, religion, sexuality, or most importantly, whether we're Team Nasty Boy or Team Cornetto. And it is in this inclusivity and richness of shared experience, I believe, that we must always keep searching and fighting for. We're strong, we're ready, and I know that we have it in us to be our own happy guys. I hope we do well, I hope we do good. Thank you, class of 2015, for a lovely 4 years. I know we'll do wonderful, wonderful things.